Greetings, Ken. Ken 64 here on this Ken 1 or Ken 212, which would also be Yellow Self-Existing Human, and the original name would be 4-Eb. And 4-Eb, the number 4 comes from the fourth tone out of 13 on the wave spell. And then human, the original name for yellow human is Ben, or Eb, my bad. And so the affirmation on this creation is I define in order to influence. Measuring wisdom, I seal the process of free will with the self-existing tone of form. I am guided by the power of elegance. So with elegance, we know that we're guided by the power of Lamat, which is the yellow star. And when it comes to self-existing tone, the power, essence, and action is define, measuring, and form. And learning these codes and formulas. At one point, and if you don't use it, you lose it. But at one point, I was able to look at the tone and the glyph, the solar seal, and be able to write out the whole affirmation without looking, because there's even a formula as far as like the guided, whatever we're guided by, the guide, it has its own formula as well. But anyway, so it's really fun to learn and go deeper into when you do have the time and space to. So in this case, the question would be, what are we defining in order to influence? And in doing this, we're measuring wisdom and sealing in the process of free will with the tone of form. We're forming something on this creation, and through free will and wisdom and influence. And so combining all of these words together to create the perfectly balanced and synchronized formula to flow throughout this creation, and even be intentional about creating our own life or experience on this creation. And in doing so, everything we do in the now creates the next now. So we always wanted to be the next best now, intentionally. That's why we move with intention. That's why we create through intention. That's why the harmonic time. That's why learning harmonic time and being intentional about harmonic time and how I can incorporate harmonic time in my daily life. It's ritual at this point. You know what I'm saying? And so I give thanks. Okay, so like I was saying, we're influencing through wisdom with the power of free will, and then guided by Lamat, which is the yellow star of elegance, and beautifying and creating art through elegance. That is what we're being guided by. We're beautifying this human experience, because it can be ashy than a mug. If we not having the ashy experience, we still cooperate, move around, move with, dance with other humans. And so we have to learn how to use wisdom as we live amongst each other. And having free will is a gift. And with gifts, it's important that we are aware of how our free will affects others, because we all got free will to do whatever we want to do, to make whatever choices we want to make. Also keeping in mind that the things that we do or don't do affect others. So there is that free will, but there's always this mindfulness that needs to take place that we should carry with us as we walk in this free will. And we have our ally on this creation, which is the blue hand of knowing through accomplishments with the power of healing. So, and so that knowing comes from experience. That knowing is not I think, I believe. Knowing, we're actually walking in our being. And when I say being in this sense, it's just being who we and what we already know we are because of the healing that has taken place throughout timelines, and that remembering where we were and where we were and where we are in the now through our accomplishments, remembering our accomplishments, how far we've come, and the things that we've been through, made it through, catalyzed, and healed through, to end up in this space and place of being able to beautify all situations, no matter what they look like or appear to be. And the challenge would be spirit with the white wind, eek, eeks, ix, with the white wind, which communicates through breath, with the power of spirit. This is the spiritual exercise. That's like meditating, intentionally breathing, whether we're intentional or not. Our intelligence is always working behind the scenes in the subconscious. Speaking of subconscious, the moon, our subconscious is always working, whether we're aware of it or not. And one thing that we can run into is the programming that our subconscious mind already has, and how that subconscious mind is programming us, is programmed. And so if we were raised around scarcity, around being in survival mode, our subconscious is like and subconscious is that instant thought, that instant action, without us even thinking about it. Because if we think about something before we move, before we make an action, before we react and respond, that's actually moving from our consciousness. If we act and respond without even thinking, or think thoughts that come to mind when something happened, that first thought, that's the subconscious. That's that hidden awareness, hidden unawareness. Because a lot of times, like we're not aware of what that instant thought or instant action is, until we become the watcher of our thoughts and mind and action and behaviors and patterns. And so our friend here, the red moon, the red moon is aka Moloch, is the one that purifies those emotions and helps us reprogram our subconscious mind through that purification process. And that purification process of our subconscious and emotions is actually what creates flow, so that we can really go into knowing, really walk into our knowing and walking in our knowing, and being able to beautify and create art out of anything that we desire. So if anything is bothering us or whatever, we can take those things and be able to alchemize and beautify with elegance. So it's not so I would like to dig deeper into that, but I don't have I'm running out of time. Okay, the time is ticking on this video, and I want to give you everything that you deserve, so hold on. All right, we're also on Limi plasma, which is connected to the solar plexus, which is the sun, the inner sun, the confidence. So tapping into in life, energy, all of that. And so tapping into like different frequencies related to the solar plexus will help you enhance this experience on this creation, to catapult you to the next experience that you desire. I forgot to mention that we're also coming off of 2 consecutive gap days. So how you doing? It's been very, very energetic, but I'm excited about what comes out on the other side of these GAPs. We're also on the 4th day, or 4th kin, out of 13. And tomorrow is Ben, which is Red Skywalker of space, time and space and exploration. How you doing?